Got up this morning, things weren't working right. I said I wanna make a change. I said I wanna fight. Obama walked up and said, yes, we can. I said I wanna ride your nuts, cause I think you're the man. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding.
Heirs on air. We back at it again. Dante Sr., Dante Jr., we back in business, and this is family business. What's going on, Dante? What's up?
Chilling, just doing my own thing. How you been?
I've been good. I've been cool. You know, nothing to complain about. Life is pretty good. You know, normal stuff happening. So this week in social media, Barack Obama. You already know the topic. Did you see the videos? Did you see the video of his speech talking to black men?
I have not seen the videos. I have seen some people's reactions to it, but no, not the video yet. No.
Okay. But you know, Barack Obama tends to have this bad habit of, I want to say, criticizing, chastising black men. He doesn't appear to do this for any other demographic of people on the earth, black women, anything, you know, white men, white women, Asian men, Asian women, Latino men, Latino women, anybody else. He only seems to focus on black men. Is this a pattern or anything that you've noticed that he's done before?
It's a similar pattern. Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, today, what I want to discuss with you are his most recent comments, which definitely has caused an uproar in social media and the media in general about, you know, black men and their role and how they support or are supporting, showing up supporting Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I want, you know, look at that video and go over it with you. And, you know, let's see what we think about it. Cool?
All right. Cool.
Let's hop to it.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
All right. Already pausing it, but I think we're already getting lost here, is because back in 2008 and what it is now is completely different times.
True. Very true.
Basically, there's two different people right there, Kamala and Obama.
Mhm.
Like Obama back then, he was like, he had all eyes on him. Like,
Yeah.
not saying that all eyes aren't on Kamala, but still, like, it was different back then. Like, you could tell, or at least from what I remember, because, you know, I was like, what, 8? Yeah, I was 8.
Yeah.
So, but
When he first got elected, yeah.
yeah, it's like you couldn't really avoid not talking about him.
And the vibe and the tone in the country was completely different. The era where he got elected in and where we're at now, it's completely different. And him coming out with this message now and then saying, I'm going to specifically speak to the brothers. It's just like, what cachet does Obama hold to even have this opinion? Last time I checked, I haven't seen Barack Obama anywhere having a coalition of men saying, this is how we as a black community, these are the things we're looking for. This is how we're going to move forward. Nothing. This guy's sitting up at his perch in Martha's Vineyard, and now he wants to come down and talk to us. But, you know, I digress. I'm not going to jump ahead.
No, but you're right. It's just like, it seems like there's such a disconnect between
exactly
the people and Obama. It's just like, now you want to come back and now you want to form your opinion. Now, first, to me, it just seems a little scripted. Like, it's just like, hey, losing all these votes, and now, like, hey, I need your help. It's like, it seems that's what I think is at least, but I could be completely wrong. Who knows? But
the message is falling flat. Like you said, he wants to swoop in at the, the 11th hour and say, hey, how come y'all aren't supporting her? Well, what policies of hers are we supposed to support? Or are we just supposed to vote for her just because she's Black or she identifies as Black? I mean,
See,
he's not even giving us a reason.
Exactly. And it's funny when you say that too. It's just like back then when Obama, I believe it's when Obama was president, or it's when he was president. When people were doubting him and saying like, oh, like Trump, for example, because remember the time when Trump was like, hey, I don't think he's born in America. And you know what?
Birth certificate.
You know what he did? He brought that birth certificate, boom, shut that shit out.
Yeah.
And when now since Kamala is on the spotlight with the same thing, what's going on here? Like, what did we get? Like,
true, very true.
Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just inconsistent, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, but
yeah, a little bit of pandering, trying to tell Black men, hey, you should be supporting her. But I mean, we're not going to jump ahead. You know what I mean? We're going to watch the whole video. So let's get back to it.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome.
You're a victim.
Who's the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out?
yes. What? No, because like you're not gonna come to me and say like, "Oh, you think about sitting out?" Like, yes, I have my reasons.
Yeah,
like I'm not saying I'm sitting out, but it's just like if there's people that are saying they're sitting out, then yes.
I will say, and I will announce on here, Kelly, conversating with you, because it's family business. We're gonna talk, we're gonna talk turkey, right? I'm definitely thinking about sitting out. 100%. Now I will vote down the rest of the ticket for my local elections, but I'm 100% thinking about sitting out because neither candidate has earned my vote. I understand Trump. I get there's a few things of Trump's policies that I support. But Kamala, I don't know the things that she has championed on her platform so far is access to deletion rights. And she also supports the increased child tax care credit. Now, I get it. Those are issues that are likely predominantly women, right? Clearly, deletion rights, that's a women's rights issue. I understand that. The child care tax credit, now that could benefit men and women, but Black people only married at a 25% rate. You have an 80% single mother household rate. So again, that's primarily leading towards women. So again, I'm not really understanding what he's saying, because if Kamala had policies that I supported, I would definitely vote for her. But she has, up to this point, she has not earned my vote. So I am 100% of those people who are definitely thinking about not voting for leaving the presidential line blank and voting down ticket.
Like there are definitely like both of them I support, because it's just like there's policies that Trump that I support, and there's
Yeah,
policies that Kamala that I support. But for Kamala, it's like there's nothing that for me as a man, it's just like
exactly.
when am I going to benefit from this? It's like
Exactly.
and it's kind of crazy how some people think like, well, it's just all about women. It's just like, what? And am I going to just be sitting here like with my thumb up my ass and like have nothing? Like, it's just
Yeah.
what's like, where's the benefit that I'm going to get for voting for you? It's like, and it's definitely not going to be having a former president, a former black president telling me,
Yeah.
hey, why are you sitting out? You shouldn't be sitting out. Like, you need to be supporting each other. And second of
Yeah.
all, like, I'm about to go on a tangent here. Hold on. Because
Okay.
so sh- I like how he's talking about, like, oh, gotta support, like, all of us gotta support each other. But
Mhm.
last time I checked, like, we were having a whole discussion about how Kamala's being black or not. And now we're being picky and choosy. Like, because looking back, and I know that,
Uh-huh.
and I've seen this, like back when I was like in high school, it's like
Mhm.
she was actually more so Indian American, not Black American whatsoever. But then now, 2024, now it's Asian American. It's like now Asian American and Black American. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
just own up to it. Like what? Like why not? Why do you want to choose the route you're running just to have like what, a couple of brownie points? Like that's not, because if that's the case, that's like no different from when Trump was I'm not saying you Trump, but it's like it's no
Mhm.
different from when Trump was bringing in rappers to his rallies and all. It's crazy because she did the same thing with
Mhm.
Megan Thee Stallion and who was it, Quavo?
True. Quavo, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Quavo. Politics are funny. I can't say it. I could say that at least. Politics are funny.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, and what you were saying initially, at least from what Kamala's saying, her platform, and I get it, she's a woman, she's trying to get the woman's vote. So she's leaning heavily into the woman identity politics, right? I'm a woman, I'm going to support women's rights, and I'm going to do this for women. But then you are excluding men. Like, her policy is 90% tilted towards women. So how then do you expect to get men to vote for you when you have policies that are 90% geared towards women? And not even that you and I as black men need to benefit. How is the rest of America to benefit from deletion rights? How are we to benefit from the $6,000 child tax care credit? She wants to give $25,000 for homeowners. She wants to build 3 million new homes. What do you, how is all this stuff getting paid for? There was a time, and you may not remember, in politics where they talked about balancing the budget, cutting spending. She's just like, I'm just giving it away. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for it. No idea. And it's just like, what are you doing? And then she's leaning into as Barack Obama just said, she went to school with you. You know, she understands your struggle. So she identifies as black. I think that's the route that they're going with this. Is
That's but
she
not
identifies
to
as black.
see, not to cut you off, but that's the thing. It's like you can't identify yourself as black. It's like, especially for other black people, we should really be like having the same energy to everybody. Cause well, I only pause right now because like I might cut this off or not. Maybe, maybe not. Because I know certain black people be
Mhm.
having, they just they have a problem with other people who aren't black.
The pro
That's
blacks.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
pro-blacks, the FBA, ADOS,
yeah,
there is a big delineation going on amongst black people right now. And for
yes,
Kamala to jump in at this particular, she's jumping in where, like, especially online, Tariq Nasheed definitely champions these kind of things. This whole identifying as black, there's a delineation going on, and she just unfortunately jumped right into the middle of it.
yeah. And it's just like, no, Like we would do like why do that? Like what like no, like you can't just automatically just be like, oh, I'm black now. Now vote for me. I'm a black woman. Vote for me now. And then and some of these motherfuckers are eating that shit up. It's like, what? Like for women, I get it.
Yeah.
Like for her policies, I get that.
Mhm.
But if you voting for her because she's black, no,
Mhm.
I don't agree with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't agree with that. But hey, who am I though?
Such a complex issue, and there's so many different facets to it that it's very, very extremely difficult to kind of paint her into a certain position. And I believe it was like 2 Newsweek articles where there was like when Kamala got appointed to the Senate in California, it was like the first Asian American woman. Then she goes and she's the first, and then for vice presidential candidate, then she's the first black female vice president. And it's just like, it's the same organization, and there are 2 different ways of categorizing her, one in California, one nationally. And it's like, you know what, don't identify as black because it's politically expedient, you know? So I don't really care about who she's married to, who she's dated, but it's just like at the end of the night when Kamala goes home, what's black about her household? You know, not that I'm opposed to interracial dating at all, but what I'm saying is identifying as black and then you go home, there's nothing black about your household. You know, I tend to have an issue with, but that's not the subject what we're talking about. So we want to get back to Barack Obama and his wonderful comments.
But, you know, Cousin Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Shut the fuck up. God damn, nigga.
And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have the floor. Go for it.
I mean, we already talked like most of
We
the
did.
yeah, but I mean they had to be. But that ending, like when fucking Obama said, "Oh, you just don't like a woman in the office," like what? And I like the part when Barack was like, "Shut up." That's exactly how I felt because
Yeah,
stop using that
exactly.
excuse.
Like, shut the F up, man. Like, what are you talking about? You know, and it's like the easy excuse to say you have a problem with a woman being president. That's the easy thing to do. And say, oh, it's the hatred, it's sexism, it's misogyny. You just don't want to see a woman leading. No, she has no policies that benefits men specifically. And then you want to talk more specifically, she has no policies that benefit black men. So what are you, Obama, what are you talking about, man? Like, come on. Like, you're too intelligent to try to play this gender hatred of women sexism game. Like, that is such a lazy response. Like, come on.
For him to say that, it's just like, how's this gonna work towards having black men even vote for Kamala or even think about it? Because by this point, it seems like it's just going down the rail even further. Like,
I mean, this is the tactics of attempting to shame black men into voting or doing your bidding. Not even voting, just not even shaming black men. It's a tactic that women use to shame men generally. Oh, you want 50-50 custody? Oh, that means you just don't want to pay child support. Like stop trying to shame men into getting with us to do what you want us to do. We have our own minds. We have our own autonomy. We could do what we want, and we're going to do what we want. This whole shaming language, this reminds me of Kevin Samuels. Like, shame, insults, the guilt need to be right. Why is Barack Obama a man trying to use shaming language against other men to get them to vote for Kamala? Come on, man. Come with a more articulate response and bring some logic, and now we have a conversation. Other than that, man, you know what I mean? You could hit the road with that shit, man. I'm trying to hear that shit from Barack. Go back to wherever the hell you came from and just chill out and enjoy your life.
right, exactly. That's exactly the point. Because Like from hearing it from a man, it's not now. It's just like, no, I really don't want to do it. The fuck, like,
It's even worse.
Yeah, it's even more. It's even worse because it makes you look more ridiculous.
It's even worse. And I mean, I know he didn't mean to do this. I am less likely to vote for Kamala now. Thanks, Barak. Wonderful.
Damn.
Okay, so there's more to the video. So let's get back to it.
All right.
And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
Who?
They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
Okay, I didn't mean to stop it there. Why is it always when we get in trouble, when we do something wrong, when we get shot, why is it always when we do something wrong, now now people want to be out there protesting and talking about, something bad that happened to us? Like, that's the only time we get acknowledged? Come on, man. What about the folks that have never been arrested? What about the black men that have never been arrested, never been to jail? Couple speeding tickets, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
Like that. So now you get no support because you haven't been arrested and the system's not working for you. The system's not working for you is because people are empowered to do things against you. That's why. It's not fair. That was just my rant. I just wanted to go on a quick rant.
And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
Well, as I alluded to earlier, I am one, who's thinking about sitting out. And as I said before, there's nothing there for me to vote for. Yes, I support women's rights. Yes, I support the government giving an increased child tax care credit. Wonderful. Fine. $25,000 down payment. Cool. I get it. Wonderful. 3 million new homes built. Okay. I mean, whatever. That's nice to have. But how about some tax cuts? How about something that benefits me individually? How about, I'm not necessarily a part of the reparations crowd, but you know what? Tax-based reparations, that would be nice. I pay a lot of money in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get some of that back. Like that's an incentive that all Americans can benefit from. Stop sending our money overseas for all these wars and bombs and do something for the American people. That would help Kamala go way further than whatever this nonsense she's proposing or whatever Barack Obama thought he was doing.
I think it's real ass backwards of how they're like coming about this. It's just Kamala and her team is just so focused on race. And it's just like that policies and all that is being covered up by race and her gender. It's just like, why does that have to be like your whole thing?
Your whole platform.
Yeah. Why does that have to be your whole platform? It's just presidential election. It should never be about race. It should be about your policies and what you can do to make this country better.
And the people in it better. Absolutely.
Yes. Actually, yes, that's all that matters. It's like not like you said, not just putting money into all these wars that don't really have anything to do with us or anything like that. It's just like I don't know. It's just tiring.
Well, even look at Trump. Trump is proposing all kinds of things. He just recently proposed interest on car loans being tax deductible. Like in the whole immigration thing, Trump wants to deport everybody, right? Well, just like Trump did with the wall. He built some of it, but he didn't build the wall that he said he was going to build. There's no way Congress might approve interest deductible. I mean, car loan interest is tax deductible. They might. approved that. Who knows what Trump can get pushed through? But as far as deporting, the people that are here illegally, I would like to hear Trump's plan on how he plans on doing that, like the nuts and bolts of it. How is that supposed to happen, Trump? Are you going to send ICE into all these communities to deport people? Like, how is it supposed to happen? Just a mass deportation effort? And, is it something that he's likely going to get accomplished? I don't know how he would facilitate that.
Yeah.
Like with the resources of the federal government, I don't know how it gets done, but he's throwing these things out there to people, telling them these things are going to make your life better, as opposed to Kamala Harris to say, oh, we're just going to give you a little bit of money. We're going to throw some money at you. We're going to get some new homes and protect women's rights. I get it, but it's not enough, Kamala. We need tax cuts. We need tax cuts. We pay too much. We pay too much to this government. We get way too little in return, and all of our money's going out the door. Look at what just happened in North Carolina. All the flooding in North Carolina. And FEMA is like, oh, Congress has to come back to approve more money. I understand how government works. Yes, they only allocated a certain amount, so they got to come back to get more. But why? Why is it that our own government agencies need to now Congress to come back and pass a bill to give them more money? They should have been fully funded at the beginning of the year. They knew hurricane season comes. Hurricane season comes around just like Halloween and Christmas every year. Every year is hurricane season, every single year. And they're giving them drips and drabs of money. Oh, this is enough. Oh, that's enough. No, Americans are suffering, man. Take care of the American people, Kamala, and you will get elected. All this other nonsense, nobody cares about. And I predict, well, I'm gonna wait till the end for my prediction.
Okay, because like back to what you were saying, like a little bit before, it's like you said, like hurricane season, and people are getting bits and pieces, but then if anything happens outside of America, put in billions of dollars into that, and it's just like use all the taxpayers' money. It's like basically a democracy. So it's just like we the people have the power to say whatever we want. So it's just like
whatever. Our representative, our elected representatives in the Congress and Senate, we send them up to represent our interests, but they represent their own interests. They don't represent us.
Exactly. Yes. So it's just, I don't know. I think it's just as we the people need to exercise our power more, because we're the ones with the power, but we just choose not to exercise it. We have them to do it for us.
I mean, we'd have to elect people that exercise, or the will of the people is how they vote, but they vote their own interests. That's why they're all millionaires.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because that's what being a man is? Putting women down? That's not acceptable.
I heard you. I knew it was coming. I heard you.
It's like, shut the hell up. Oh my God. It's just like, but it's so like, it's one thing when it's coming, like, all right, it's one thing when it's coming from a woman, but then when it's coming from a man, it's like, all right, come on now.
The shaming language is insane in this whole entire, this is only like, he's only talking for like 5 minutes, and he's done so much damage in these 5 minutes.
Yeah. And it's crazy how I didn't hear one suck teeth. Like,
well, you did. I heard you.
No, from there, from wherever.
From the audience.
Yeah. It's like, I get it. He's a former president, but
true.
There's a certain extent where we gotta, like, all right, now you're doing too much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount of respect and deference you give to Barack Obama because he was 2-time president, right? But who was sitting in the audience, there's no pushback, nothing.
That's not it. This shouldn't even be a question.
God damn it, same shit, different day.
But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And what, as a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris Waltz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons.
Do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of a woman?
It might be some
in the White
listen,
House?
black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny maybe a part of it? But again, is President Obama and is the Harris Waltz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing black?
Okay, I wanted to give Nina Turner the floor there because she absolutely cooked on that one. Shout out to Nina Turner. She absolutely cooked on that one. I wanted to give her the whole floor. I didn't want us, sitting on the side, taking away from it and taking away from her message. She absolutely cooked on that one. But what do you have to say on that?
Nah, absolutely. Applause to Nina Turner. But it's just, got to act a little out of character since, we don't like seeing women in office or anything like that because, we just supposedly we don't like that. But
the narrative. It's the narrative from Barack Obama. It's the narrative from CNN that it's simply because we don't want to see a woman in power. As I said earlier, that is the laziest take you can have. It's sexism. No, her policies fucking suck. That's it.
Damn.
That's it. They fucking suck. And to lean into this womanism, sexism, you don't want to see a woman at the top. It is lazy. It is irresponsible. And as the title says, the scroll at the bottom, Obama continues to disappoint. And generally, the whole entire Democratic Party continues to disappoint, trying to shame us men, black men, Hispanic men, Latino men, Asian men, and men who immigrated here from other countries, Arab men, into voting. It's not going to work. I don't know what old tactics they have or who's running these campaigns saying this will work and that's going to work. That shit is dead. That shit is not working. Like, if anything, it's making me not want to vote for her.
I don't see what's the appeal of them doing that kind of stuff.
It's the old playbook. This is what they've always thought works, right? If you get the black woman, then the black man is going to vote along with the black woman because they're both in the household, right? She's going to twist his arm. She's going to pressure him into voting the way that she wants him to vote. They think that the matriarch that the black family is, they think that is still current day black families. That is not the case. As I said earlier, 25% of black people are married, 80% single mother-led households. There's no man there. So what they're doing is they're still trying to get the black female vote and say the men will come along with her. The men are breaking away. They're saying, number one, they're not in the households together. And all the laws are slanted towards the woman. Child custody, child support, we don't even have equal rights to our own children. If a woman decides she wants to get rid of it, wants to delete a kid, there's nothing you or I can do. If a woman decides she wants to have the kid and she can then wants to give the kid up for adoption, as the dad, we don't even get the first right to say, I want the kid. The kid goes off into adoption, off into who knows where. So again, they are playing the wrong card here.
After all that, just say, damn, it's just a damn shame. Like, for real, because it's just like when you speak it, it's just like, wow. It kind of sounds ridiculous, It's like you have no say in anything when it comes to a child, and it's just like,
this makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
It's like they think there's like a gray, like it looks all gray, but it's really just more black and white.
Yeah.
It's like there's no green lining to it.
And I mean, I believe that Democrats and Republicans, they don't know how to reach out to men without excluding women. Republicans do a better job of it because Republicans like, hey, this is what we're going to do. The men are going to come along. We're going to get the majority of men, of white men anyway. So therefore, we're going to live with election results given or kind of leaning into white men. It's the minority groups who still don't know how to position themselves to get the majority of minorities to vote. They still get the majority of minorities, but they don't know how to give a consistent message, let's say for women without excluding men. They don't know how to give a consistent message for men without excluding women. And these are like multi-billion-dollar campaigns, and they can't figure out the basics of trying to get what works best for everyone. You're not supposed to be 90% for women, 10% for men. It's supposed to be 50-50. You get a little bit of what you want, a little bit of what you don't want, but in the end, we're all happy. And they're just leaning into one side. And that's why she's kind of faltering at this particular point.
Yeah. Because I think they do know. They do know how to like appeal to but like the men like that are like people of color. But it's just like, I think it's like more so gonna like bring an uproar for the women, like
They
don't
know how to put they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? They're just getting rid of all of it. Forget it. You can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. And then now here they are, just like bringing a former president, trying to shame him into voting, which is not gonna work. Like, ever work. So it's just like, especially in this day and age, it's like how things are now. And if you're trying to get young black men, yeah.
There you go.
Young black
There
men,
you go.
sure. Like
that shit ain't happening.
Show me some kind of growth, and then we could talk then. But I highly doubt it. But yeah, I think they do know the game plan. They just choose not to fall through with it because
I don't even think they know the mechanism for it to even happen. I personally don't. I think that they have the old playbook and they're like, this playbook works and we're going to keep running, right up the gap every single time. We're just going to do a running back dive every single time. They're running the same playbook.
Because I believe there's enough men or enough people in general talking about what their wants and needs are. It's like, hey, we want this, we want that, we want whatever's going on, and they just choose to ignore it. Because I feel like there's.
Are you asking how would the government know what people's wants and needs are?
Yeah.
Well, they do polling. They do have these organizations that do outreach in the community. So generally, that's what they do. It's the organizations that have the outreach. They do polling, and I think they're polling. I don't think that they poll men very well. And I think that kind of broad brush issues like women's rights, they know most women are going to go along with that. But I don't think that they poll like for example, what do Asian Americans want? Who knows? What do Latino Americans want? Who knows? What do white people want? What do black people want? Who knows? Because they're trying to just go with this broad brush of, well, what's going to get the most people? What's going to get the most? Right. So Kamala, she supports the women's rights. She's leaning heavily into that. Trump's leaning heavily into the immigration. And then he's promising people a bunch of things he's not going to do. But you know what I mean? He's playing the political game saying, I'm going to offer these things to these people. Now, if I offer 10 things to people and I do 3, they're going to be happy. Kamala Harris is like offering just these obscure things that who's really asking for this? Is there a housing problem in the U.S.? No. There's an affordability problem in the U.S. So she's addressing the wrong issue. There's plenty of homes in the U.S. She's just addressing the wrong issue.
Yeah, I was about to say, and it's funny when you say that because it's like you bringing in more homes. What's that going to do? It's like if all the homes are going to be like the same prices as the other homes, like brand new homes, like just like that wouldn't really make a difference of like people trying to get it.
And even the $25,000 down payment, I understand that, but where's the money coming from? Where's it coming from? The United States is already in debt. Why do you think our taxes are so high at this point? It's just like it just doesn't make any sense. But go ahead.
I'll say it's just another way of raising taxes.
You can't man, that's a really good point that you said that. In order to pay for these programs, she's going to raise taxes. But she did say millionaires and billionaires are going to pay for it. No, they're not.
No, my God. Come on.
They are. They absolutely are not. Just like Trump's wall, and he's going to get Mexico to pay for it. That shit didn't happen. And this shit ain't going to happen either.
Yeah,
billionaires.
Get out of here.
That shit ain't going to happen.
They'll probably, if that does happen, they'll probably cut out like the workers the payout.
Yeah, just like McDonald's with the $20 minimum wage in California, and then all these fast food restaurants closed.
Yeah.
It's like you can't legislate these kind of things. Can you legislate minimum wage? Sure, but can you legislate a livable wage? Absolutely not. You can't do that. These companies are going to fold. But with that being said, I did want to go back to what Barack Obama was saying very quickly. I wanted to go to some of the headlines. Barack Obama talking about losing support amongst the brothers, right? So here's a headline I found. Kamala Harris' lead with Latinos is shrinking. And that was from October 5th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to go to this one. Some Indian American Democrats see themselves in Harris. Others see limits. October 8th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to go here. Kamala Harris is losing support with this key demographic. It could cost her Georgia. And I don't know if you could see it very well. But this, let me see if you can see it. This is referring to Korean American support for Democrats. So I then will go back and ask Mr. Obama, the fuck are you talking about? Right? She's losing support amongst everybody, and you want to chastise black men. Come on, man. We ain't even going for that. We ain't even doing that this time. Absolutely not. Abso-motherfucking-lutely not. That shit ain't going down. Nope. We are not taking the brunt of this. She's losing support across the board because she has a terrible message.
Mm-hmm.
This is why when 3.5 years ago, when she was campaigning against Joe Biden, she dropped that. She was one of the first people to drop out of the race because her message was terrible. It was terrible. Her campaign, her policies were terrible, and they're still terrible.
See, it's funny when you say that, because do you think it's I have to cut this out, but like, do you think it might have been a little scripted for Joe Biden to like all of a sudden drop out, and then now Kamala's like just swooped in?
I personally don't think it was scripted, because if you remember, Joe Biden dropped out after he had that terrible debate performance, right?
Yeah.
That was when he really dropped out. When he the way he came off, he just seemed like he was kind of, old and tired. And that's what really put the nail in the coffin. But I don't think, figuratively for Joe Biden, I don't think the Democratic establishment, I don't think they wanted Kamala. I felt like they knew her limitations. And at first, if you remember, I don't know how much you follow it, but they were like, well, you can't just skip over Kamala. But then the Democrats, they were initially leaning towards skipping over her. They never said who they would choose.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they wanted her because they know her limitations. And I think it's proven to be true right now with her losing support.
Yeah. Yeah. Because based on how things are looking, this ain't.
Hey, man, like we used to say in high school whenever we would be losing the game, hey, look, go warm up the bus. This shit's over. And Barack Obama, look, with his comments, let's warm up the bus. We down by 20. It's over. Warm up the bus. Oh, shit. But, hey, man, we're going to see how it shakes out. What is it, about 3 weeks left? Like I said, I don't really see much progress. I don't really see how it's going to happen. And hey, man, we all going to see how this shakes out. Okay, Dante. So any final thoughts?
Obama, Please stop disappointing us, especially as people, you know. It just doesn't help morale at all whatsoever.
And with that being said, I'll say, I'll echo your sentiments. Barack Obama, this did not help. I don't know why you thought this would work. I don't know who you ultimately thought the audience was going to be or how it was going to be received. This, like, as you said, this is not 2008. And this whole coming in and I'm going to swoop in and I'm going to save the day. Just go enjoy your life as a former president up in Martha's Vineyard and your multi-million-dollar property, and just leave politics alone. Unless you're going to come with a different message, you have no coalition of black men are saying, yes, we support Barack Obama. You're just one man talking in the wind. Just go enjoy your life. I'm sure you have a great life as a former president, and just let the rest of us figure this out.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Heirs on Air, Dante Sr., Dante Jr., family business, and we out.